Have you ever been in a situation where you had to lead others and the way wasn't clear? Maybe your circumstances were particularly dark. Perhaps you didn't feel safe and you didn't have enough information to make good decisions. Perhaps you were under pressure and you were scared, and all the while others were leaning on you to show the way. In those moments when the end of the story is hard to see and you're the one in the position to find the way, leadership is lonely and it feels impossible. The purpose of this video short is to remind you of the gifts you already have to help you see in the dark. Last month, my family adopted a kitten from a local rescue organization, and on the night we first brought her home, my oldest son and I were sitting with her just looking at her. We gazed at her from the side, and my son noticed how her eyes looked and was kind of amazed by it. He asked me if I had ever noticed them before, and we talked off and on about her eyes and how cats can see well when it's dark. We talked about how even our eyes change when the light is low. He said, "I bet there's no such thing as pitch black for cats." I wondered if that was true, so we looked it up. It turns out that there is such a thing as pitch black for cats and for just about everyone, but it's also true that cats see much better than humans do in low light, and they see differently. I was curious about what it was that makes them see that way, and I'm curious if the way a cat sees in low light might have anything to teach us about how we lead others in circumstances that we think of as dark, confusing, or hard. Here's what I found. There are two main reasons cats see so well in low light. First, cats' eyes are more sensitive than ours. Within their retina, they have many more rods than we do. Rods are the part that's most sensitive to changes in light. So humans have 4 rods to every 1 cone in their eye, while cats have 25 rods to every cone. So they see better in low light because they're more sensitive. In fact, they can see using roughly 1/6 the amount of light that humans need. Second, cats' eyes are more reflective than ours. They have a structure behind their retina that holds lots of little cells that act like mirrors. These cells pick up light that passes between the rods and gives the eye many, many more opportunities to pick up little bits of light available. This is the part that makes cats' eyes look like they glow in the dark. Sensitivity and reflection. When I first read this, I immediately thought, those are 2 characteristics that are often thought of as distinctly feminine, and 2 characteristics that are often, quite frankly, thought of as weak. And they're 2 characteristics I don't think I've ever seen in a job description for a high-level position, or any job description for that matter. And sometimes I think they're 2 characteristics that us ladies often think we have to give up when we are in a leadership role. What would happen if we changed the story? What would happen if we started understanding that sensitivity is strength and reflection is wisdom? To be richly aware of and allow yourself to feel things about all that is happening around you, that is strength. Our emotions are a form of intelligence, and sensitivity means that we allow ourselves to listen to that. To be thoughtful and consider how all that we're seeing, hearing, and feeling affects others, to reflect on past lessons, to consider what is in the best interest of others. This kind of reflection is wisdom that doesn't come cheap. So give it a try. The next time you're in a situation where you're full of doubt, fear, and unknowing, and you're in circumstances where it's hard to decide which way to turn, change the story. Do what you already know how to do, but maybe has been hidden in you. Be sensitive, reflect. That is how you will begin to see in the dark. There's one more thing that helps us see well in low light, and this third thing doesn't come from cats. It's pretty distinctly human. Remember when you were a kid and your room was dark and you were convinced there were monsters in there? Maybe they were hiding under the bed or in the ceiling tiles? That was your imagination at work. When we can't physically see what's around us, our imaginations can really come to life. When our circumstances keep our vision limited, we can get an inner vision or let our inner eyesight get to work. Use your gift of imagination to consider the possibilities just like you did when you were little. So what's on the other side of your darkness? A new product? Your first book? A new way of relating to your children or your partner? Maybe even a little bit of rest? Spend time looking for what isn't reality just yet. So how to see in the dark means that we remember that our sensitivity is strength and we use it to take in what is around us. Seeing in the dark means that we know that our ability to reflect is wisdom and we pause to allow time for it to happen. And seeing in the dark happens when we let our imagination run wild about all that could be. Do these things and you'll find your way. And as you do, you'll light the path for others. There's one last note, and anybody who knows me knows it's a note I like to share in just about every lesson I teach. You will not be good at leading, at being sensitive, reflecting, or using your imagination if you never pause long enough to take it all in. Your ability to see well in the dark rests on your willingness to treat yourself with compassion and care. For those of you who need research to convince you to take care of yourselves, I have some recommended reading on the next page. Thank you for watching, and thanks to the conference hosts for allowing me to provide this video. My contact information is below if you would like to be in touch. Remember, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.